Hey guys, Phil here, welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, we're going to be bringing you some absolutely huge news for the Premier League, as Newcastle United are on the verge of completing a takeover, which would mean Mike Ashley is finally out the door, and I think that's great news for the club, isn't it, Dad?
Well, it's a fascinating time to be a Newcastle fan. I mean, this is a really big club. I mean, They've spent 88 seasons in the top flight. They've won 4 titles. They've won 6 FA Cups. A really big club.
Anyone saying they're not a big club are wrong. They've got a huge fan base, and they definitely deserve better than their current ownership. And let's be honest, as Bolton fans, in the past we've seen some bad owners, and we can relate to you on that standpoint. But now you've got that chance, you've got that breakthrough, and we wish you the best as a club.
To realise how big Newcastle are, you've got to live up there. I lived up in Durham for 3 years, and the thing about Newcastle, it's a big city with one football club. And the people of Newcastle, it's pure black and white. They are passionate about football. It's like a religion, and there have been some amazing players come out of Newcastle over the years. You're thinking along the likes of Alan Shearer, Kevin Keegan,
Gazza,
Peter Beardsley, Gazza, and Alan Gowling.
And Gary Medine. He came from Newcastle.
Legend. Then you've got guys like Mark Knopfler and Sting and the true Geordie, real celebrity fans.
And Will N.E., let's not forget you.
So an amazing times to be a Newcastle fan.
So we all know in 2007, Newcastle United got taken over by Mike Ashley. And at first, it all looked bright. They thought he was going to pump money in. He joined in with the fans. But then, year on year, they gradually realised what was happening and how he was pretty much using the club to promote Sports Direct and also just to make a profit. And unfortunately, a club like Newcastle United deserved better. A
lot of fans from other clubs were thinking, what's wrong with Mike Ashley? I mean, he's a billionaire. He's not the worst owner. He's not like the owners of Bury or the former owners of Blackpool, is he?
And at least Newcastle United are still a Premier League club and get to watch players like Alan Saint-Maximin on the weekend. But things could be better.
And I think the thing about Newcastle is the fans demand the best. This is a world top 20 club, and they demand an owner who will love the club and put the money in. And Mike Ashley kind of turned Newcastle into a yo-yo club, didn't he?
Agreed.
Now we have this amazing situation, don't we, Theo? Now, the 80% owners of Newcastle will be the Saudi Arabia Sovereign Wealth Fund, and that's headed by Crown Prince Mohammed Bin Salman.
Now, who is the tip-top dog of Saudi Arabia. He runs the country.
Absolutely, that is key. He's not just some wealthy businessman. This man is Saudi Arabia. He is the government. He is the main man, and we'll come on to him in a minute. 10% of Newcastle will be owned by Amanda Staveley. Now, she is a very interesting lady.
I've also heard her name before. Wasn't she part of the Man City deal when they got taken over?
That is correct.
She connects a lot of the Middle Eastern wealth with the Premier League a lot, and has clearly been successful.
10% will be owned by the Reuben brothers, some of the richest guys in this country. So there's an awful lot of money coming Newcastle's way, isn't there, Theo?
It sounds like it.
Let's talk about the potential of this deal. I mean, where could this lead? All this money, Theo.
I mean, this could honestly turn Newcastle United into a Champions League club again. Now, we've seen they've had European League football in the past. They went to Milan and brought 20,000 fans. I'm just thinking of how much of a fortress St. James's Park would be on a Tuesday night. Imagine that. A club like Barcelona having to go to Newcastle United. I honestly would back Newcastle in front of their fans. It would be huge if we saw European football on a night at that stadium. It would be insane. Let's talk about the calibre of players they brought in. I mean, this is very far-fetched, but imagine Mbappe running down up top for Newcastle.
There's talk about the likes of Coutinho, Koulibaly.
Just imagine like the attacking, smooth football they could be playing with a bit of money when they mix, you know, the youth of the players they have in their club already, mixed with some absolute ballers who they actually spend some money on. The project they have, if they do it right, it could be insane. They could bring back Rafa Benitez, but how about Maurizio Pochettino, who's available right now and has been linked with it?
And Newcastle could become the new Man City. It really is that big. Newcastle could become the biggest club in the world.
Imagine.
Let's not forget, 21 years ago, Newcastle were the 5th richest club in the world. So, Theo, what is the downside of this potential takeover?
Well, first of all, before we get onto the owners themselves, I just want to say, do you Newcastle fans really want to become like a Man City? I've got a friend who's a Newcastle fan from Newcastle, right? But he lives in London. Now, does he really want to walk down the street in 5 years' time, meet someone new and be like, and they're like, oh yeah, you're just a Newcastle fan because of this, you know, the takeover, the money. You know, like Man City. Does he really want to be associated like that? Do you really want to be a money club? Do you really want to be splashing 50 million on every single player just to get to the top? Are you going to feel good about yourself doing that?
I've got Man City supporting friends who've loved the club for 45 years and are now going off it For
exactly.
some strange reason.
Exactly.
They loved it in the main road days when they were crap. But nowadays, they find it too plastic. But there's also a real moral side to this takeover.
Right.
Because Saudi Arabia, according to Amnesty International, has got one of the worst human rights records in the world. Last year, 184 people were executed.
Let's just remind people, the owner that wants to buy Newcastle United is the one who runs the country, Mohammed Bin Salman.
Yeah.
He's the one who makes the rules, makes the decisions as a country.
Yes.
Right, politically, if they want to go do something as a country, he makes that choice. Do Newcastle really want to be associated with that?
Women were not allowed to drive until about a year and a half ago. If you were openly gay, you could be stoned to death. The treatment of minorities there is terrible. They're fighting a proxy war in a neighbouring country called Yemen.
Just to have a little search into Yemen, find out what's going on there, and then come back and then realise that's buying your club. And really assess, do you think that's the right decision?
What's going to happen this week is the Premier League will decide, are these guys fit and proper people to run a football club? Now, there's 4 points that I think we should make here. One of them is about the murder of a guy called Jamal Khashoggi.
Right.
Now, he was a journalist, a Saudi journalist working for the Washington Post.
Okay.
He went to the Saudi embassy in Istanbul to get some documents. He never came out. He was jumped by a death squad of 15. The CIA have concluded that the future owner of Newcastle United ordered that death.
Wow.
So what does the Premier League do about that? A second point relates to Sheffield United. The owner of Sheffield United is a Saudi, okay? Is a lesser Saudi. So what happens? Last day of the season, Newcastle have got to beat Sheffield United to win the league.
European football or something like that.
Could the owners influence each other? Third point is the relationship between Bin Salman and the owners of Man City.
Right.
Who are from Abu Dhabi, but could they be influenced? And the fourth one relates to piracy. Allegedly, the Saudi TV station is showing Premier League games without the proper licenses.
Yeah.
So the Premier League have got to make this decision. Can we allow this takeover to happen? Newcastle United Supporters Trust, 97% supports the takeover.
Of course.
And I think a lot of them probably don't know all this stuff about the Saudi regime.
Hence why we're making this video, just to basically give you some information, some background, because you want to know who's taking over the club. So Gary Neville made a tweet the other day, and I think it was really good, and I think we kind of stand on that. We agree with them.
Absolutely.
So, and this is over to you Newcastle United fans. What Gary Neville said is there's two options what you could do here. You can either completely boycott them from looking at their history, and that's completely understandable why you would do that, or you could bring them in and help them change. Now, we've already seen that the rules we've listed have started to be abolished. Now, do they actually have positive and good things? Do they really want to change? Honestly, I want to hear from all of you Newcastle fans in the comment section down below, and all the other football fans. Do you think this move should really happen?
Now, you see, what's going to happen this week, mark my words, the Premier League will accept this takeover.
Yeah.
And what they'll say is that the British government work very closely with the Saudi government, which is true. We sell them weapons, weapons which are used to kill people in Yemen. But let's move on. I do agree with Gary Neville. Let's try and work with countries like this. And over time, let's try and change them.
At the end of the day, it really goes back to the point, is money everything? You know, all right, you get a money boost, but let's look at the consequences.
Yes.
Dog Dad, what is the like target today?
The like target today is 5,000.
Let's smash it. We hit the 4,000 like. I think we hit 5,000 yesterday, so it'd be absolutely huge if we could hit that.
Interesting fact, we were going to end this video with a Newcastle brown beer review. We went all over London, I'm not even joking, we couldn't find a bottle of brown ale.
So there will not be a Thog Dad beer review at 10:30 in the morning. It's Sunday, so have your Sunday lunch and enjoy the good weather. See you later, guys. Bye.